Okay, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Whenever you are turning in, it is good to see you. Tuning in, not turning in. It's the end of the day. I'm seriously tired and words are hard. We are going to be doing our second lesson. So if you were looking at your calendar, we are going to be right here. We're doing perspective. Alrighty. And I'm going to record this separately just because I think I'm going to have you guys just watch the video and go. That way you can pause and rewind. People, when they do perspective for the first time, tend to need a little bit of extra time because it can be difficult. But before we get into all that, make sure you do your warm-up. So you'll need your art journals for that. And you will just go to your next available page. So the last page you should see would be the eye, that we did the iris and the pupil. And I'm going to go to the next page. And I'd like you to title it Warm Up. So it's 12-4 if you are my 4, 5, 6 kids, or 12-7 if you are my 1, 2, 3 kids. And your prompt for today is going to be free draw. Okay. So you're going to do a 10-minute free draw, and we will do that on the Zoom together. And then, you'll hold it up like you did last time, and that will get you your participation credit. If I'm not able to see it or you are not able to get onto the Zoom, remember you still need to do the warm up and you need to email it to me for your participation grade. Okay. So when you are done with that, go ahead and put your notebook away, and you're going to want a flat piece of paper for this. It can be a lined piece of paper, but plain white would be ideal. You could do it on, so your hybrid 8 packet, I intentionally left the backs blank. I'll show you what I mean. So hybrid 8, I left some blank ones. So if you don't have blank paper at home, just use the back on one of your hybrid packets, okay? Because you want your paper to be flat for this. It's all about straight lines. So now would be the time when I would say, raise your hand if you've ever done perspective, and, hopefully someone will raise their hand. If you haven't, perspective is drawing something that looks like it's three-dimensional. So here's a room. And this is what we are going to mimic here today. It's a very basic room. Typically, if we were in the classroom, we would go way more in depth with it. We're not going to today, though, just because of the nature of our learning. We are not in the classroom. So you're going to start your very first step that you're going to do. You'll need a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, that's okay. You can use the side of your planner, the side of a book, the side of a binder. Doesn't matter. You'll need a pencil with an eraser. If you have one of these are good because with perspective, there's a lot of erasing that goes on. And I'm just going to go step by step. There's several ways you can do perspective, but I'm going to follow this method just because this is what will be posted in Teams. So for the sake of consistency, we'll just keep all the directions the same. All right, you ready? Okay, let's go. So you're going to start by doing an X through your paper. You want to go corner to corner. So I'm going to draw mine first, and then I'll hold it up for you. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it kind of close. Like you definitely want your lines going corner to corner. That's not something you want to kind of play around with. So see, I made a mistake there. I'm just going to erase. So make an X like that, please. And then I'm going to come in and erase that. The rest will get erased later. Okay, step 2, we are going to do a box in the center. And don't think of it as a box. Just go from one line to the next. So here I'm going to go from just that one line to that one line. Okay, and I'll do it on the bottom too. Make sure they're the same length. It's easy if you do it that way. Then you just connect your sides. And if it's uneven, you can fix it. I think mine might be a little uneven. Yeah, it was. That's all right. I can't do anything straight. I can't even hang a picture straight. I mean, I don't know. So that's why if you look in my classroom or my house, everything is hung up crooked because I can't hang anything up straight. So I just hang it all crooked on purpose so it looks like it's intentional. It's like it's a decorative statement. It's not. I just can't hang anything up straight. So you're going to have that. Now this center right here, all of our lines are going to pass through that. Every line that we do is going to go to that point. And that's what's going to give us the three-dimensional effect. Okay, so you're going to have, so you got your X, got your box. Now we're going to do what's called a horizon line. A horizon line is just, it's a transition space. So if you were looking at, say, a sunset, the point where the sun disappears behind the earth, that's your horizon line. If you were looking at a mountainscape, the point where the mountains touch the earth, that's your horizon line. Okay, if we were in science, we would call that a point of reference. A point of reference is a point which all motion is measured from. You know, it's how you can tell something's moving. Anyways, you should learn about that in 8th grade when you do motion and forces and Newton's laws. Here's your science. Anyways, there's your horizon line. So right now we don't have much. We have a bunch of lines. A whole bunch of lines. That's perfect. Okay. And so we're just following right along here with these steps. So if you're more of a visual learner, this will be posted Teams. I'm going to go Teams with it, Instagram, and you have it here on YouTube. So there are several ways to access this. Okay. Next, we're going to put a dot where all the lines come together. We call this our focal point. That dot right there, called a focal point. Okay. Next, we are going to, so we have, if we were making a room, actually I'm going to angle this down a little bit. See if that works. Okay, if we were making a room, this space right here would represent your floor. Okay, this space would represent your ceiling. I think I'll write that on there for you guys. Ceiling. And I'm doing it light so I can erase. And these are going to be our walls. Take a picture too. Okay, don't write that. This is just for reference. I don't even know if you can see it. There it is. Okay. And for my sake, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do some erasing. So I'm going to erase everything in this box because these are unnecessary lines at this point. I'm going to keep the dot though. I'm not erasing the dot. So we'll come in. There is so much erasing with perspective drawing. And when we get to drawing cityscapes and landscapes, I think we go through more erasers than we do pencils. Anyways, now we're going to make a door. We're going to put a door right over here. And to do that, we are, my God, I hope you can see this. We're going to take our ruler or our book and we'll line it up with that first line. And then we're just going to shimmy it down a little bit. And this is a guideline, so we're going to make it light. It's not going to be dark. Okay. This is going to be the top of the door. Okay, the top of the door. And then we're going to bring it down right here. And we'll scoot it over right here. So this space right here is now a door. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. I'm actually going to erase my horizon line just on this side because I don't really need it anymore. So if you'd like to do that as well, you can. So see, it's coming in. This is now a door. Okay. So So now we're going to come in. I'm going to give it a handle. To do that, I'm going to just put a circle right there. And that's good enough. Okay, when we come in and darken all of our lines, it'll look much better. Oh, I forgot a step. Then you come down here. And that's going to make it look like the door is open. Let me make sure I did that right. Totally did. There we go. This would be the point where some people might be getting frustrated, needing to pause, needing to go back. So I'm going to come in now and I'm going to erase any unnecessary lines. So these are relatively unnecessary. So they're going to go away because I'm good. I have my door. And I'm actually going to come in and darken some lines too. Because these are keepers. You never, when you're doing perspective, do not darken a line until you know you want to keep it. Because I'm telling you, once you make those dark pencil lines, they are hard to erase. Oops, look at me make that not straight. I told you I can't do anything straight. And I pushed hard too. That bad mammer jammer is not coming out very easily. Still going to try to get, nope. Maybe. Okay, and this is no longer a wall. That's a door. But this is our wall still. So I'm labeling everything to keep it in perspective for you, no pun intended. Again, erasing any unnecessary lines. And next we're going to do a window. So kind of the same, but it's a square on a wall. Do you see it? So we have our floor, a door, wall. This is our back wall. Here's another wall. This line right here is going to go away. And then our ceiling. Okay. So next we're going to do a window. Always makes me think of the Little John song. I don't know. I'm old. It's probably way beyond time. Funny song though. My kids like to sing it. I'm not sure how appropriate that is, but okay. So we are going to do a window. And it's the same way that we did the door. So we're going to start here. I'm going to line my ruler up with our original line that makes the corner, you know, where the ceiling meets the wall. And I'm going to scoot this down, keeping my point in the focal point. I'm going to do a nice light line here. And then I'm going to go to the floor line, and I'm going to go up. I could probably go up a little more. Use your best judgment. If you don't like where the line sits, erase and come back into it. Again, everything is being done so lightly just because of the amount of erasing that we have to do. Okay, so this space right here, this is going to make us a window. This is going to maintain a wall. That's going to stay a wall too. This space we're going to turn into a window. Flip it around for you. Okay, so I'm going to use my ruler and I'm going to come in and I'm going to keep my ruler. Parallel. So that means running next to, not intersecting with. So that's your math vocabulary, y'all. So running parallel to this intersection line right here where the wall, the back wall and the side wall meet. And I'm going to just scoot it in and do a straight line here. And then I'm going to come over here from the edge of here and I'm going to scoot in just enough to be right here. Okay. And so it doesn't look like anything yet. Let me hold it up and show you. But this space right here, this is going to be a window for us. Okay. And again, I'm just following along with the directions. So I'm happy with that space. So I'm going to erase everything in here. I'm going to erase my little guidelines here and here. I can actually get rid of my horizon line here also. The horizon line that we did in here just served as a guide. If we were doing a landscape, this would be where the mountains came down or the sun, sunk below. But we're not doing that. We're just doing a room. So now we're going to erase here and here. Okay. Actually, we can get rid of these ones too. I'm almost see that? Almost through a whole eraser already. If you need an eraser, stop by Dilworth. I'll give you one. However, you can only stop by on Friday the 4th because after that we are closed to students. Okay. So now you have yourself a door, a window. Let's get it labeled. You don't have to label this. Please don't label. I'm labeling this for you. All right. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to darken my lines because I'm happy with them. If I wasn't happy, or if you're not happy, this would be the time you come in, you erase, and you start over on just that section. Please don't be a paper crumpler who dramatically throws everything away the second something doesn't go right. You got to give it a chance, And there are ways to make it even more three-dimensional, like adding in a windowsill and stuff. Which you are more than welcome to try and do. However, I'm not going to do it on this video just because I want to keep it simple. I don't want people getting so frustrated that they don't enjoy what they're doing. I'm actually going to darken my back wall as well because that the wall's not going anywhere. I'm going to keep the wall. And I'm going to do one modification from the picture. So the picture has a fireplace back here. We are just going to put a big old picture. You're welcome to do the fireplace if you want, but you don't have to. Next, we're going to do our floorboards. So the floorboards are just going to be a series of lines that emanate. There's another $20 word. To emanate means to come out of. So it's going to come out of here. And let's see, I'm going to make little guide marks here. So I'm going to go 1, 7's a good number, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to have 7 floorboards. Now here's our goal. We're going to take our ruler and we're going to line it up with the horizon, or words are hard, line it up with the focal point, and it's going to pass through that mark. 1. It's kind of the tricky part. This is why clear rulers are good for this, so you can see what you're doing. Can't really see what I'm doing right now. That one. And we're going to pass through. Pass through that one. Oops, I went a little bit rogue on that one. Okay. So now you're going to have this. These lines are going away. Please notice how I did it super light because I haven't committed to these yet, but this gives the illusion of floorboards. Okay, like you're looking in a room and you're staring at the back wall. So now let's come in. I'm going to erase. Erase the little marks. Erase here. Okay. And I think I'm happy with these. So if you're happy with them, you can come in and make them permanent. Come in, push a little harder. You really want to save your dark lines until you're sure, because once you've made them, it's just, if you have a lot of visible eraser marks, it looks sloppy. So you kind of just want to wait. Just wait till you're sure. I need to be using a ruler. You really need to use a ruler. Some people just have like a natural ability to draw straight lines and stuff. I did not inherit that at all. And I guess I can solidify this one also. Okay. Pretty happy with it. Okay, so there we go. Floor, door, window, ceiling. Now we're just going to add a picture back here. This is kind of the fun part of doing the picture, because you can put whatever you want in the picture. If you did something cool, that would be cool. So to do a picture, it'll be like, mine's going to be, I'll do a Van Gogh, since we talked about Van Gogh today. I'll do his sunflowers. You can do whatever you want though. So this is going to be my basic frame. I'm going to draw my lines out a little bit. Oh, shoot. I skipped a step. That's all right. I'm going to do a frame. Totally not straight. That's okay. I'll just color it in and hide my mistakes. It's a pro tip. Coloring and shading, hide mistakes. Come in, erase here. Erase here. Here. And I can get rid of this. I don't need that anymore. Alrighty. Actually, I'm gonna give it a little go like that. You don't have to do that. You can. You don't have to. Keeping these lines. Okay. So if we were doing a windowsill over here, it would be similar to this. That is something I'll show you in class. When we do perspective in class, I like to sit with my kids, my groups of kids, and really model and go over it with you, because it can be so frustrating. We could really just call that a window back there. We're not going to, but we could. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to give myself, so I remember his, I'll show you. It's actually right here. I had this picture in my room in college. I've just loved Van Gogh. I mean, nutso, but I love him. So I'm gonna roughly copy that, like super rough. We talked about that one today. That was one of his, he wrote to his brother about, and he wrote to the Degas or Degas or whatever. If I had a memory, that would be awesome. I don't. But that other guy that he wrote to, I don't know if you guys can hear Fashine in the background. She's noisy. Okay. So I can't flip it upside down for this. So you'll have to watch. But I'm going to do any lips, just a squished circle. Kind of an oval, keeping it light. And I'm going to just, ooh, that's a little bit too big. Just go rough with it. Do a little horizon line in the back. I'll shade out all my mistakes. I'll do some things. These are going to represent my flowers. Don't go out that way. It's going to represent my stems. And he just did circles. So I'm going to copy Van Gogh here and just come in. Remember, tons of imperfect circles make perfect ones. And this is going to be looked at like it's from super far away. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and they can overlap. The only thing I'm going to erase on here is my inside lines. So go ahead and look at that. What's up? Oh, are you leaving? Okay, so there's that. Seriously, I'm keeping this ridiculously simple. And I'm going to use shading to hide all my mistakes because that's my favorite thing to do. Now I'm going to make darker lines to kind of solidify what goes where here, what circles are in front, which ones are in the back, and then we'll just do cross hatching. Remember we did that in the beginning. A little bit of cross hatch in there, give it some texture. Super not perfect. I'm going to solidify the front and the sides. Give it some hatching. Another word that you should know. Not cross hatching. I'm going to just hatch in the vase and cross hatch on the side. That's going to give it that. And then I'll just lightly color over here for some texture. Background. We'll cross hatch that out a little bit. Just do a couple. And I'll keep my frame bright. And a little bit of shadow under that. Just a smidge. Okay. And that's all. You can, for your picture, you can do whatever you want. Don't try to do anything you don't want to do. I mean, obviously it needs to be school appropriate. But there's your perspective. Okay. So just a room with a window and a door and a picture on the back. Okay. I will go over this on the Zoom on the 4th and the 7th. See, I already forgot. On the 4th and the 7th, this picture will also be posted as an example, as well as these step-by-step instructions. Okay. So you'll have tons and tons of resources. Plus, I will be available on the Zoom. I just think that it's easier if you have a video. You can watch it. You can go back to it. You can pause. I just don't want anyone to get frustrated because perspective is super fun once you get the hang of it. And the room is a great basic way to do it. Remember, art is just lines. If you can draw a straight line and you can draw a circle, you can make anything. Okay? There's nothing on here that's not a straight line or a circle. Except for none of my lines are straight. Okay. Anyways, and when you go to turn it in, let's go over that. When you go to turn this in, you email it to me. Because remember, that's the only way I will accept it. It's going to be, let me write this down for you. It's going to be first name, last name, period number, and we'll call it. Okay, so example, I'm still getting people writing novels in the subject line. Please stop doing that. Okay, so my example down here would be like this. This is so important because those of you that know me, you know I lose everything. You know I don't have a brain. So we have to be organized. When you turn it in, first name, last name, period number. So if you're in first period, there's going to be a 1 there. If you're in second period. Okay. And then the title of the assignment is perspective. So first name, last name, period number, and then perspective. Okay. That is how you turn it in. This is all I'm expecting. Okay. If you have troubles, you can email me. You can hop back on the Zoom because I will be on for the full hour. Okay. You guys are smart though. You're smart. You're talented. You can do this. So I'll see you guys either Friday or Monday, either one. I hope you have a good day. I hope you don't struggle with this. I hope it just happens. Okay. I miss your faces. I will see you all soon.